Welcome to the Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much and welcome back. Always great to connect with you. Welcome back to the Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. We've got it all here, guys. Mental health, movement, motivation, awesome relationship advice. So it's just one of the highlights of my life to connect with you. Want to dive in to our topic today. I received a letter from Nora. Thank you so much, Nora. Long time subscriber. I've heard from you also a few times in the past, and your note really resonated with me. Nora had some specific questions about her people pleasing habit and how to break that. I have some really heartfelt and very sincere advice for you, Nora, and anyone else who's stuck in this. What do we want to call it? The people pleasing quicksand. Give it whatever name feels right, but I can tell you it just internally, when we're doing that, when we're operating from that center point of this is not truly and authentically what I want to do, it doesn't feel good. So, hence the title, how people pleasing ultimately leads to letting people down. I have to tell you that there are some things that just over time you can't really, you can read about it as you're researching. Someone could tell you about it. That can be powerful too. But now I'm going to share something with you that from the inside out. um, I don't just believe it. Belief is one thing, but I know this to be true on a deep level. Life is based on truth and intention. Life is based on truth and intention, and life honors truth, even if we don't. We may not be at the developmental state in our lives, in our emotional journey, in our spiritual journey, where we are truly honoring truth. But life always strives to honor that truth on our behalf. This is why when we situate ourselves, I really don't want to do this, but I feel pressured. I don't want to let this person down. I'm going to betray my truth or kind of ignore my truth or skirt around my truth. We will see that there's generally a tension in those kind of exchanges or relationships. It could be something very brief. It could be something very casual, like, taking a friend to the airport. And you really don't want to do it. You're super busy, but you do it. And what happens while you're driving that friend to the airport, there's a low vibration. It brings a low vibration to the exchange. Either your friend is going to sense your attitude, or you're going to have a resentment the whole time you're doing it. And it literally pulls down. It pulls down the integrity of the relationship, and there's a weightiness to it. So, whether we're talking about something major, I really don't want to marry this person. I know in my heart that there's something here that just doesn't feel right. But oh my goodness, I've bought the the cake, we've rented the hall, everyone else around me is getting married. Oh, I think I'm gonna go and do it. I've seen it over and over again. It's 25 years for me in this field, and I have not only lived it myself, but I have seen people cut away from truths, cut away from what they know in their spirit, those that tap on the shoulder, and they will betray that. Why? I want to please this person, that person, or the third. I want to tell you something that, you know, Nora, I could not discern from your note and what you wrote the root cause of your people pleasing, but I will say this to you, that many people, I want to draw the link between mental health, levels of trauma, and people pleasing. Sometimes people pleasing is the offshoot of trauma that we've experienced coming of age, or just being in situations across the board where you were not given a lot of liberty or guidance in sharing your authentic voice. That was certainly the case for me. Growing up, it just wasn't safe to be authentic. It was more of a survival mechanism that I learned real quick. Girlfriend, go along to get along. Just be as agreeable as you possibly can. That was for survival at that point. And then it became something automatic. So it was a process of reconditioning and great awakenings to get myself out of that. So I share this to say, for some people, this people pleasing stance is truly, it comes from survival or maladaptive functioning. It's what you needed to do, and because it's so automatic, you don't even stop to think what you're doing anymore. Some folks, it is a situation where I just want to be accepted. I'm going to go along. I don't want to disappoint. Or you're growing up, disappointing anyone meant Armageddon. The bottom is going to drop out. So there's various reasons and nuances, but I can tell you this, what really snapped me out of it many years ago, it was this aha moment that was thrust upon me. The exact thing that I did not want to happen. I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to go along with it because I don't want this person to be upset. I don't want to rock the boat. I just want to keep things copacetic. The exact thing that I was trying to prevent from happening blew up. It literally blew up in my face in a way that I really could not ignore the pattern anymore. And I will tell you, it was just like a domino effect. Looking back at all the circumstances, all the moments, the resentment that had risen up within me, and again, what really sealed the deal for me and started me on the journey of change was making that connection that when we betray ourselves and our truth and our deepest intentions, generally that very act is what leads to letting people down, because eventually when there's not alignment, when things aren't vibing in a like frequency or vibration, because that authentic intention of, yes, I want to do this, or, yes, this is a genuine, authentic yes. Maybe I'm not excited about the request, but it's a genuine, authentic yes. It just leads quite naturally to, it's incongruent. There's going to be a friction that leads to people backing off things prematurely. It leads to levels of resentment. So, Nora, the question that I really want you to sit with is, how much longer am I going to sit in utter discomfort trying to avoid discomfort? They cancel each other out. How long am I going to sit in this discomfort and running away from my truth only to be uncomfortable to accommodate someone else, or to accommodate a situation that does not feel authentic to me? It's a deeply It's a deeply personal decision, but based on what you shared in your note, you're really right there. And as far as people not liking you, or because you're honoring your truth, backing away from you, I'll tell you the lesson that I learned about that. Uh, these are not individuals for whatever variety of reasons. Again, the frequency, the vibration is just not there. Because if someone tells me at this point in my life, if someone says to me, Sheila, thanks, but no thanks, I'm like, high five. I can do nothing but respect that. Why waste my time? Why waste yours? Someone has a different preference, wants to go a different way, whatever the case may be. I can do nothing but respect them from the inside out. And you will see that reasonable, rational people who have done a level of work on themselves, they're eager to just honor truth and authenticity, not just in themselves but in other people. To me, one of the worst feelings is having someone be a part of something they really don't want to be a part of, having someone say a yes when it's really a no. And I have to tell you, it's been my experience that respect levels go up. Respect levels, let me a caveat for sane people, respect levels will go up when you are just walking in your truth and authenticity. You really have to be leery of someone who is saying, regardless of how you feel, I just want the yes, go along. I would be very concerned. I would be very concerned about that. And the reality is, we are all at different states in our evolution. So you have to, if you expect you're really walking your walk, talking the talk, you're going to expect that there's going to be there's no's, there's going to be rejections coming from you, coming from other people. I've said it many, many times. Man's rejection is God's protection. And what is rejection? What is a no other than redirection? So, bringing the message back full circle, Nora and anyone else who really needs to hear this message today, um, people pleasing, ultimately, it is a disservice to yourself. It is a disservice to your life, and it's a disservice to the platform of truth that God gave each of us, quite frankly, to stand on. And people pleasing is different than just wanting to be a blessing and a joy for people. That is, I love that. I love to lift people's life up. I love, little surprises. I love it when that yes is a yes. And sometimes, even if it inconveniences me, I will say the yes. Why? Not for the sake of people pleasing, but it's for the sake of, as the famous saying goes, community supersedes the individual. There are times that for the greater good of the whole, I will roll my sleeves up. For example, last year before COVID hit, I put 2 videos out. It was on my vacation, but these were individuals in mental health states that they were really compromised. So that supersedes kind of sitting at the pool with a pina colada. So there are those moments. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about ultimately um, betraying morals, betraying values, taking yourself full out of your way in relationships that are imbalanced in the first place, or just operating from a place that is so inauthentic while you're granting the favor or doing the thing, whatever the case may be. You hold resentment. You hold resentment in the process. So there are nuances and distinctions here. So at the end of the day, what I say to you, Nora, and anyone else who's really leaning into this message is, it really is, if you want to stop that cycle of people pleasing and start walking in your authenticity, just keep this in mind. You're already uncomfortable. You're already uncomfortable. The great equalizer here is your truth. You will acclimate. You will adjust. Your hands may shake a few times, but you will adjust to telling people no. You will adjust to looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what, this is just not for me. This is just not what I want to be doing at this time in my life. When that energy is new to you, anything that's new will feel a little bit odd and funny, but I'll tell you, what you get back, what you get back is so absolutely phenomenal. I'm convinced that you can kick that people pleasing habit and just really give yourself a lot of cool, crisp, and clean, fresh air. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the message. If you're loving what I'm doing, please do subscribe and share the news of the channel with your friends and family. I'll be back soon with some more inspiring messages. Thank you so much.